and welcome to another show and tell. And if you're new here, my name is Ashley and you may know me as Ash Love Makes because I love to make things. And this is a video about knitting, crochet, and sometimes sewing. It depends what I want to do, and some other crafts because I like to craft. So if you want to find me, all my links are going to be of my social media down in the description below. Thank you for any new subscribers. I usually forget to do that. If you like this video, subscribe. If you don't like this video, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It doesn't matter really. And I'm going to make a pillow, a crochet pillow, and like stick it somewhere around in the background. It says like subscribe, press the bell, do something like that. And it's better if you press the bell because I have not been consistent in every 2 weeks putting a video out. It's more like monthly or every 2 months because of my hand problems. If you are not, if you have no knowledge about this, because I don't want to keep explaining myself, you can go to like 3 videos back and you will get some updates about that. So before I start crafting, I will tell you about that life stuff. I usually leave it at the end, but now I'm gonna leave it. So my hands right now are in pain, but at least they know what I have in my pinky finger. I have like some sort of tendonitis. I'm going to a hand surgeon, and I have beginnings of carpal tunnel. So yes, in short, that's it. That's all I have. People might be like, "Oh my God, that's terrible," but for me, it's a relief. I finally get something. What the heck is wrong, but yes, it makes me happy to know what I do have wrong in my body. So I have other things, but you know, let's get to the yarn stuff, okay? So I have been crafting like crazy, guys. I have just one acquisition which I used in a project, and that's why I bought it, because I had to. But the rest was just yarn I already had, and one of them I had it for a year already. Yeah, because I bought it like this time last year. So yes, I am using my stash. I am using everything I have in my stash, and it is kind of like really rewarding to use what you have in your stash, and you're like, finally I got to use this yarn because I actually stopped buying stuff that I really don't need. Not that I have stopped buying stuff, but I have controlled myself. Not having a job, you know, makes you put the brakes on stuff and be like, use what you have, girl. You have bunches of yarn. So yes, sometimes I have to go to the store. Like last time, I had to go to Joann's and buy some baby blue yarn because I did not have that exact blue in my stash. You know how I feel, because that has happened to you. You're like, I have all the rainbow in my stash, and then you're like, no, I don't. I have to go to the store and get the color I need. And then you're like, God, I need to amplify my rainbow, which my husband is like, but you have that color. And I'm like, no, it's not the same shade of blue. This blue is kind of grayish. This one is teal. No, it's not the same. Yeah, you get me. You know my feelings. So, working on stuff, I have languishing projects which are hibernating, but I have got some of those out, which I think I should show you after I show you this, because I showed you this last video I did, which I'm not going to say like last week because it wasn't last week. So if you remember this headband that I did with Red Heart Super Saber stripes in the color Flamingo Stripes. Yeah, my camera is being so iffy. I wish I could like show it to you guys without being okay, better. So You can see it changes colors, and this is a tutorial by Bob Wilson 123. I know she has one, a video tutorial. So if you need a video tutorial for this one, that's where you can find it. The flower is actually a flower from Pinterest. I have my Pinterest name there. I have it in one of my thingies, one of my pin lists, the crochet one, and it is amazing because I did a rose, but that rose was humongous. It was too big for my daughter's face. I felt that it was taking over her face. I really look like a mommy, so I'm gonna put some color on. So it really was too big, and this flower was the perfect size. This flower, you can actually make it bigger. I did the 4th layer of petals, but I was like, no, now it's too big. I'm overdoing it. It used less yarn. I ripped out the rose, and with that same, because I don't have any more of this yarn, with that same yarn, I did this flower. The little bulb, you do it later on. The pattern does not tell you what hook to use, so you can make it with any yarn, any hook size. I use my trusty dandy 5mm hook, H hook, which I love for everything, for the band and the flower, because I really love this a lot. I hope you guys don't mind that everything's looking like super neon bright, but if I close my window, it's not gonna look as nice. So yeah, this flower was pretty perfect, awesome to make. I really loved it. The size is perfect, so you can make it with any yarn, any hook, and anything, as I was telling you. And really nice. I did like it. The little bulb, as I was saying, you crochet it at the end. So yeah, that was awesome. That was a fix. I was fixing that one. So in a project that I had lingering at least for a month or almost a year, because I've been super lazy and they're just missing one thing, but you know me, I take forever to actually decide what the heck I'm gonna do with them. So I'm gonna show you these ones first. So I have these mittens. They're blocked and washed and everything, and they have been sitting at least a year, and one of them has a skull in the thumb. Oh, if you're wondering, this pattern is actually the Cuppa Cozy mittens, but I found this on Pinterest and kind of put it in the design, so I changed the design of the mittens. But it's the same pattern. And then there's this thumb, which I didn't do any color work, and it's humongous. It's super big. So I don't know if I should rip it out and do it again, but then measuring with the other one, it's not as big. Just a little bit, just by a little bit. I don't think when you have it on, nobody's gonna notice that. I hope so. Yeah, it's not that noticeable. It's not such a big thumb. Well, it is. But I'm just gonna pretend it's not as big. I tried shrinking it down. I put some hot boiling water on it and everything, but I can't shrink it. So that's how it goes. That's how it's gonna be. Nobody's gonna be judging your thumb. I don't think so. And they are whatever. So they are finished. And this thumb as well, that I think kind of like changed it up. I had to use some woolies, Lion Brand's woolies, to finish this thumb. The whole mitten is made with 100% wool. This is fisherman's wool, and this is Bernat. Is it Bernat? I think it's Bernat. Yeah. 100% wool worsted. And this one as well is black with speckles and it reflects of colors. So they are done, and that is good. And that's why I don't want to rip out the finger or the thumb, because I know I'm not going to finish it. I'm not going to fix it. It is what it is, and whatever. And the other things I finished were other mittens. These were missing the thumbs as well. I think I got inspired by Fiber Hustle, Aaron's. He said like, oh, I had those mittens and they were just missing the thumbs. And yes, I had 2 pair of mittens. One of them was missing the thumbs, and these both were missing the thumbs. And they're for Rose. These ones are not blocked, so this is why they're super stiff. They're 100% wool. They are made with brown sheep's wool worsted, held double to make bulky weight, and they fit her really nice. At least I think. I haven't tried them on her. The last time I did, they fit really nice. I made the thumbs on them, and they are this awesome pink and purple color, which I can't tell you the color. I think it's like, these are the colors right here. The purple, it's a little brighter, and the pink, it's more magenta-ish. So, this tag is so hard to find the names on them. Cherry Delight is the pink one. It's brown sheep's wool and worsted weight. I got this for, if you remember, for like $2.50. Shit was a steal, man. It was amazing. I'm so happy that I got this wool, and it's like first time I used the brown sheep wool that I got. So yeah, that's another reason why not buying any more wool has been amazing. And this one is Alpine Violet. It's really nice. I just need to block these out. And if you're wondering, this is the World's Simplest Mittens by Tin Can Knits. They have all the size for all the families. I want to make some colorwork mittens with like aliens, because I got that book, if you remember. Aliens, and then on the back like spaceships. I just UFOs for my husband, but it's been really hard to actually find like Scandinavian type mittens for men charts, so I can actually make my own chart. There is one on Ravelry, which I saved in my projects or in my library, but I don't have ink right now, so I can't print it out to design my own mittens right now. But those ones are the ones I'm going to use to make my husband some mittens, because they are actually meant for DK yarn. So if I do it in worsted weight, they're going to be much bigger. So that is what I'm hoping for, because I'm really bad at math and I don't like to do math. So yes. Other thing I finished was this hat. It's a Minnie Mouse hat with pom-poms on. The pom-poms, when she's wearing them, they're a little bit more stable, though I think I need to sew them in with thread to hold them more secure to the hat. But this is made with loops and threads. With loops and threads, cozy wool. This one, it's 50% wool, 50% acrylic. It gets really fuzzy. I don't know if you can see the fuzzies there. You can see the fuzzies. And I made this using an 8mm hook. Yes, it recommends a 9. Yes, a 9. It recommends a 9, but I went a hook down, an 8mm hook, which I think is an I. I really don't know the letters, guys. I know them by the millimeters, and I'm so sorry. And I did some felted little holes here. The colors I don't remember. I know it's black, and the pink has to be the same pink they have because they really don't change their colors that much. Michaels doesn't change their colors that much. I used this a video tutorial for a crochet bow, which is really simple. It's just treble crochets and chains, and that's it. And then you keep like magic, a chain 4 for the beginning, and then trebles and chain 2, and then you keep doing it in that same chain 1 space, and you get that cute little bow. And my daughter loves it, and it's really warm because it's 50% wool. I did not block it or wash it or do anything, guys. So it's just been getting fuzzy because she has been wearing it for school. I think it's going to get a lot of love, and I think the fuzzier it gets, the warmer it's going to get, because it might thaw a little bit, and that is awesome. You know, I have been remaking some of Rose's favorite hats. This one, she did ask for it. She was like, hey, when are you going to make my Minnie Mouse hat? And I'm like, I don't know. I have the yarn for it, but I don't know right now. So one day I was like, let's do this. I got some new Clover pom-pom makers. So this is why I have like gigantic, perfect pom-poms. They really do a difference. I got them because I have like a free $10 from Joann's, and it was worth getting the pom-pom makers because they were actually going to be free. Because they're pretty expensive. I was gonna buy the whole set on eBay, like the cheaper ones, but I did not get those. I got the original ones, and I still have the other pom-pom makers, which I love. They are awesome. But these ones, I got the big one and the medium-sized pom-poms, so I like that. I like it a lot. The little circles are felt circles that I caught, but this one, I don't know what I used to make the mold. This one, I used a quarter to make the circles, and I put 5, yeah. And this one I put 6, 3 on each side. It's like I gauged some pictures and I was like, oh, okay. But the hat, you use less increases because I think this is a 6 bulky weight yarn, so it uses less increases to make a hat for a child that is 6 years old. So I actually made like 3 increases instead of like 5 or 6. So use a lot less. It goes really fast. Like I finished this maybe in an hour, half an hour, something like that. I've been going slower than what I used to crochet because my hands hurt and I really don't want to abuse them as much. So yes, really awesome. So you can see the join here is really gross, but I really don't care. She looks really cute. I just need to stitch the pom-poms in a little bit more. There we go. So that yarn has been sitting there at least for a year. This one is waiting to be made into a cute hat for me because I got those cute pom-poms that I showed you last time. And now is the time to make myself a cute little hat with this yarn. I want a cabled hat. Really cute. Other hat I finished with some yarn I had maybe I think a year as well, or after. I think it has been waiting at least like 2 years to be something, this yarn. So this is my hat pattern, the Make It Your Own hat. It is on Ravelry. So this one has a 3-inch brim or cuff. Excuse me, 3-inch cuff, and then I think it's like a 7 or 8-inch body. Let's do this. Let me measure it. Yeah, it's a 6-inch, 6 or 7. I think it's 7-inch body. 7-inch body with the cuff. that is 3 inches, so the cup is much longer than the body. And then it has it has an I cord and 2 pom-poms hanging with the I cord. This is for my husband's grandma. She lives in Puerto Rico. She's cold and she wants to wear a red hat with 2 hanging pom-poms. So yeah, this is a hat that she saw. She wanted a fold over brim. She specified on everything she wanted. She wanted a red hat, and then I have a black hat, which, you know, we crocheters and knitters, we don't like black yarn. But I am putting my outlight on and praying to the yarn gods that they help me not miss a stitch while I make things. So the other hat is just gonna be the same. I'm gonna use the make it your own hat pattern by me. It's free. So there you go. All my patterns are free, and some people complain about them, but they're free. I have no testers. The one I had like for sale, I put it for free too because it was not making any money. So I was like, whatever. I really don't care. Sometimes I make things because I think it was fun to make patterns. Now I have no desire to make any patterns. So yeah. But soon, maybe I will get inspired to actually make another crochet pattern hat. But I need more crochet patterns to make hats, like stitches. So it is really nice fitting, and I actually use, because this is, let me talk about the yarn. This is Red Heart with Love. It's the small round ball that they have at Walmart. I got this for $1.50. It was on clearance because sometimes they bring yarn for like this season, and then when it's springtime they bring other different yarn, and then the yarn for Christmas time they put it on clearance. If you haven't noticed, that happens on Joann's and more on Joann's and Walmart than Hobby Lobby and Michael's. That is what I have noticed. Michael's usually is the Karen cakes, but Joann's and Walmart is everything. They change everything. So that is the time to stock up on yarn and like go crazy, because once they put in $1.50, it's a good deal. So this is Red Heart with Love in the color red, and I use a 5.5 millimeter needle, which I usually, the pattern says is a 5 millimeter needle, and a 4.5 millimeter needle for the brim, but I use a 5.5 for everything. My hands are hurting. I want to do this as fast as possible, loosely, because I'm a really tight knitter and crocheter, and that makes everything worse. So this is a FO. My next FO is this hat right here. This one is really gonna be like extreme neon-y because the yarn is actually neon for the head. I love this hat, like how it looks, but it's so much work. This hat, the pattern is by Just Crafting Blog. She changed her name, but you still can find all her patterns on Ravelry. So if you go to my Ravelry, you will find this pattern, and you can go to her name, and all her designs are really awesome. Most of them are free, and they're really cute. She has Branch as well, and then she has the painter, what is it? The painter troll. Yeah, the one that paints. So yeah, I do change the leaves and the flowers. She does the flowers with half double crochets. I do them with double crochets. She does do the chains. She only chains 2 and does like a single crochet and then a half double crochet for the leaves. But if you actually look at Puppy, her little leaves of her hat or her headband are like this. They're stringy. So I do a chain 4 and then single crochet back and a magic ring with 6 half double crochets in the center. So the flowers are 6 half double crochets, the 3 leaves one, and then these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 double crochets, and then a single crochet in the space that you slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 2, and then do the 4 again. So it's a chain 2 and then 4, and then you do the same. I think I wrote this instructions in the first poppy hat I did. So if you are wondering what the heck am I explaining, you can do that. And how you get cotton candy hair, you just cut a bunch of yarn. Like I use my trusty dandy, I'm gonna keep saying that, my tassel maker, which I made myself. I wrapped all the yarn here. I cut it on both sides because I was not going to make any tassels. And then you slip it. It says, because this is made in the round, it does tell you to skip a row, which is very complicated because you end up in some spaces with gaps. So you have to go in between rows and kind of mingle in there after you've done that and kind of put some more loops of yarn in there so she doesn't have a bald spot. But she ends up really cute. The yarn I used for the hair this time, the first one I used Hobby Lobby Neon Pink. This one I use Premier Yarns Deborah Norville Everyday Yarn in Neon Pink. This one is different. The Neon Pink from Hobby Lobby, I noticed it was has kind of like a more purpley tone. And this one is a very reddish pink. After I got home, and I was like, oh man, obviously they're not going to be the same, but they're not as equally purpley pinky. So I was like, oh well, it will do for what I want it. So I still have to kind of like untangle some of these. To get the fluffy yarn, you have to take a dog brush or a tooth comb brush and comb it over. This I'll have to like brush it so it gets untangled. It doesn't look like yarn. And I use a jug brush that I got at the Dollar Tree. It's only for yarn. I do not use it in anything else. Only for yarn. I use some Red Heart Rose Pink for the body. I don't have the tag, but I know it's Red Heart Rose Pink because of the texture and the color. This is Red Heart as well. This is Hobby Lobby, like Christmas green, I think. Something like that. There we go. Because my camera's being all crazy. It's because there's snow as well on the roof next door, so it gets really bright. And then I use felt for the eyes and the nose. I put some glitter here in the cheeks. And this one has ear flaps. It's not the same as the one for my daughter. I have the other one, the original one here. First one I did. As you can see, this one, the yarn was shorter. This one right here, so it stands up better. And this one, the yarn is longer, so she has more crazy hair. So I think eventually this one is going to look just like this one after wear and tear. So yeah. The nose is a little bit bigger, but this is a smaller hat than this one. And they're not going to be the same because, you know, it depends the day I made them. But you can see how they look next to each other. Cute little hats. The eyes, I think, of this one are bigger. But anyways, that's why she looks kind of scared. But I think she looks cute, even though I kind of messed up a little bit in the eyes. The nose is a little bit bigger. Overall, it turned out really awesome. And making felted eyes to look just the same as the other ones, it is a pain in the butt. So I think it is what it is. She turned out awesome. And this is for somebody. She purchased this hat from me. So I have to put it in a bag before it gets filled with dog hair, because I know that's going to happen soon. In FOs, I have as well, it's not, as I told you, this is a all crafty video type podcast or video. So this was a tape measure. I got inspired by Mind and Muse podcast, by the Mind and Muse podcast. She made tape measure covers. This is a tape measure that you can find at Dollar Tree. It's black and square and ugly, and I didn't use it as much because I thought it was so ugly, so I made it into a little house. So this is the part that doesn't have the button, and then oops, and then the tape measure right here, the little button that's over here, you can press it, it's in the back, and then it has a little keychain, so it looks really adorable. I use pink. I think I should have used like some sort of blue or something, because the tape measure is black, the pink looks kind of dirty. But it's not dirty. It's just the tape measure on the inside is black. I sewed some of the felt with my sewing machine. I eyeballed everything, every measurement and everything. This part right here was the one I sewed by hand, so I could like put the tape measure in, sew by hand, and then the little tab for the tape measure, like to pull it out. That was the other thing I sewed by hand. I sewed by hand the house around. I just glued some felt over here, glued the window, and glued the door. The door had a little, if you saw it on Instagram, it had a little bead. But the bead was bothering me. Every time I kind of pressed the button on the back, my finger had to hold it right there. And I was like, no, I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to put a little felt doorknob. So that's what I did. And yes, I haven't done the test with that wool yarn from Hobium, but I am going to do it maybe next year. So stay tuned for that, because I am such a busy woman. I just don't have the energy, as I'm here all day, but you might think, oh, Ashley does a billion things. I wish I could, but my energy has been slowly like just going down, and I feel sick, and some days I feel with so much energy, and then the next day I feel like a train ran over me. So yeah, it's very complicated. It makes me depressed. I have ups and downs and all around, and it's not nice. But these days I've been feeling a little bit more joyful. My energy has been feeling okay, not as high as I would like it, but I still here. I'm alive, I'm breathing, and I'm doing what I love, even though my hands don't want to do it anymore. So yeah, I do have more things to do. If I do not make a video, I think this is the last video for the year. I will make a video next year showing you maybe pictures of things I finished, because I have to make a Mia hat, and I have to make another make your own hat. Plus I'm going to be digging into some of my where are they gone? My hibernating projects, because I do want to finish them. I took out some yarn to make the crochet fade, which is amazing. I do have some yarn that I actually showed you for other projects, but I've seen them. I looked at them and I'm like, this can make an awesome fade. So I'm missing 2 colors, which I'm gonna order from Knit Picks because I'm broke. I want to order from Indie Dyers, and I know which colors I want from the Indie Dyers that can go in there and make it all wonderful, but I can't, and that makes me sad, because I have to spend the same amount of money here that I spend on the other. So I'm gonna get one skein from an indie dyer and a Knit Picks I can get two. But I'm waiting until they have like free shipping or something like that, because it's crazy. Now they raised it up. Before it was like $50. Now it's like $65 for free shipping. So I'm not gonna spend that. This year I didn't ask for yarn for Christmas. I'm gonna get makeup. So yeah, I'm waiting on that. I was gonna get it on cyber, like the cyber sale, but I didn't have money. So yeah, I'm stuck. But anyways, those are yarny problems, but it doesn't matter really. I have enough yarn and I can get entertained with all the hibernating projects I have right now. And I have yarn for the Wonder Woman shawl, so I might do that one. You know, just I'm gonna work with what I have because I have patterns and yarn for projects and specifically for those projects, and that is what I want to work on. So you will see those in future videos next year, hopefully. So I hope you guys are going to have an amazing holiday and an amazing New Year's. And as always, remember to do what you love. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.